this one's going to apply more to to Tijuana. He wants to know what's the best time to get into Tijuana and get out. Well, here's the thing about Tijuana. Walking in is nothing. It takes you minutes to go in. You literally walk through, take your bag off, put it through like a scanner like they have at the airport, grab it, and walk out. I've never had more than 2-3 people in front of me ever. It's it's a 5-minute trip, and half of that's just walking up to the building and then walking out of the building. Boom, you're in Mexico, at least on the Tijuana border. And I suspect all the other borders are small. They are smaller than Tijuana. Tijuana is like the most crossed in this part of the entire world. So every other border into Mexico from here through Texas is probably faster. Now, getting back, walking back, the longest I've had is about an hour. I'll confess, every time I get in that line, I think, it's going to take hours. It's taken me maybe an hour, which is not terrible. I didn't like it, but that's not terrible. Driving, whole different story. Driving, coming back from Tijuana, that is hours. That could be 6 hours. So when they ask, what's the best time to come and go, they were referencing a video I did about walking over. Even with that, early morning or later in the evening, after sort of the rush hour, is the best time. That's when you're going to have the least amount of traffic, either walking or driving. But again, you're always going to be way faster if you walk over versus if you drove over. All right, so the next question is from Banana Peppers. That's the second person with the name Banana. Whatever. They asked this question. It's a little strange. Said they plan on going down there for 3 days. This is Tijuana. Could they park at the TJ airport, and they say on this side, and then Uber across like it's 7 a.m. So when you read that as it's written, it sounds like they're in Mexico already. They want to park their car at the TJ airport and then Uber into the U.S. So that's a little different. Usually I would think they'd be asking the opposite. Could they park on this side and then Uber into Mexico? But nonetheless, the answer is basically the same. I had to look it up because I really wasn't sure. I've taken Uber plenty of times all through Mexico, but you cannot cross the border. Now, I'm going to say you cannot. Maybe you can in some circumstances, but from what I was able to find out, no, you can't. And there's some practical reasons. One, let's just say in their case, it looks like they're going to be in Mexico and try to go into the U.S. That driver needs to have the ability to cross the border. They may not have that. So that's a knock right there. That car has to be not licensed, but has to be insured in both countries. That's an expense that they may not want to do. There was something else I was thinking of that I can't think off the top of my head. And then just the practical reality, as I just mentioned, the time involved in driving across, I can't see why it would be worth it. Even if you have a Century Pass, and there's another one, I can't think of the name of it, but the Century Pass is for people that travel back and forth very frequently. The people that work in one country and live in the other, they usually have a Century Pass, which allows them to bypass most of the line, but they can still wait an hour. You never know. Traffic is just traffic. Why would you do that when I can walk across the border and then pick up the Uber there? So the way you would generally want to do that is take your Uber up to the border, whatever border this may be, walk over, then pick up an Uber right outside the border gate there, and go about your business on the Uber on the other side of the border. It's a very simple process. I've done it many times. I would not expect that your driver could drive you across. It's just, here's another thing. I mentioned the Century Pass. You can have a Century Pass that allows you to go back and forth very quickly. Again, it's like having a fast pass at Disney. You get to jump the line. You're still going to be in a line. It just is probably way shorter. However, when you get to the border, they're going to have to look at the people in the car. Everyone in the car has to have that Century Pass. So your driver may have it, but if you don't, he can't use that line. He has to then sit in the regular line. Now you're back to a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour wait. So again, it's a good question. It just doesn't really work in a practical sense. Hey, I really hope you liked that video. Why not check out some of the other videos in our question and answer series? A lot of great information. But if you have a question, make sure you drop a comment and let me know. I'm glad to answer it. In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified every time we drop a new video. In the meantime, keep on trucking.